Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Shirley's Threadwork. Tonight is Tuesday, therefore, it is Shirley's Wind Down Tuesday, and I have my blueberry Stella Rosa here. Oh, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. Hello, Danielle, Robin, Val. How are all of you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Hello to everybody out there in YouTube and Facebook land. I do appreciate you stopping by. And I also want to give a shout out and say hello to everybody that will be watching the replay. Thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate it. And again, happy Tuesday and welcome to Shirley's Threadwork. Oh, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope this weather that we're having right now isn't too bad. It's snowing here. I don't know what the accumulation is. I just know it's cold and it's snowing. And I'm not happy. I'm going to tell you that now. I am not happy. That is not my cup of tea. I could have, the cold part is bad enough, but the snow, we can keep that snow part. I tell you, we can definitely keep the snow. I am not one for that. Hi, Faker McFake. How are you? How you doing? Oh, well, you say you got snow in Philly as well. Hi, 2011, Miss Mac. How you doing? It's been a minute. I got your message the other day where you said you've been watching, just haven't had a chance to come on. So I'm glad you got a chance to come on this time. Appreciate it. And hi, Carol. You said it warmed up to, ooh, it warmed up to a -10 here today. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm complaining about the weather here, and you're up there where it's a -10. Right now, the um, the temperature that flashed across the TV said 28 degrees, and that's enough to make me shiver. But my goodness gracious, uh, a -10? No, 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 no. I don't need that. I don't need that. I have to tell you, the groundhog, whichever one it did, because I can never remember whether if they see the shadow or don't see the shadow. All I know is that I heard that we're supposed to have an additional 10 weeks, not 10 weeks, sorry, take that back, 6 weeks, 6 more weeks of um, bad weather or winter. And that was on the 2nd. Today is the 11th. So we've had about a week of it. So we still have about 5.5 more weeks or so to go. So that doesn't make me feel good. And Faker McFake, you said 74. Are you in California or are you in Florida? Because I know those two places, especially Florida, I know is in the 70s because my son is there and he said it's in the 70s, I think like 76 there. So you're warm. Good for you. We're not. It's cold here, but we're not as cold as Carol, so I am not going to complain. I'm going to shut my mouth. Hey, Leslie, how are you? I saw you. I got you tonight. Okay, I didn't. Somebody said, hello, Shirley. Oh, that's Leslie. You said, hello, Shirley, and everyone. The snowy evening here in Virginia. Yes, it is. And oh, you're in New Orleans. Okay, so it's not so bad in New Orleans either. Well, that's good. That's good. You guys are still well, the Super Bowl didn't have anything to do with you guys' team, but it was in your city. So I guess you guys still had an opportunity to celebrate and have a good time because of the Super Bowl. So I've yet to go to New Orleans. I've been to Louisiana, but I haven't been to New Orleans yet. So maybe one day I'll get there. Hopefully so. And Danielle, you say you can hang out tonight because tomorrow's a snow day and work is closed. You go, girl. What are we going to do tomorrow during the day, y'all? I don't know. What do you want to do, Miss Thang? What do you want to do? Let me know. Let me know. Um, Leslie, you said it's 29 degrees there in Virginia. I'm in Maryland. They said it was 28. Um, And Faker, you said 2 weeks ago you had snow, and I'm pretty sure that that kind of upset you a little bit, a little bit. And Val, you say you still celebrating the Super Bowl. I know you are, girl, with the Phillies. Hey, hey, hey. I have to tell you, I lived in Kansas City for 8 or 9 years, and I'm originally from St. Louis. And St. Louis lost their football team. Nobody came back, so we kind of adopted the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm usually rooting for the Chiefs, but I have to be honest about it. On Super Bowl, I didn't really care who won. I was happy that the Phillies won because my son and my husband wanted the Phillies to win. So okay, we're gonna have the Phillies. The only thing that I'm just gonna be honest and put it out there. The only thing that I wanted was to get on the board. I said they can't go home with a goose egg. That just, I mean, to have had the year they had, and this is their alleged three-peat opportunity, and you go and get your butt spanked that bad. That's pretty rough, pretty rough. So I was happy that they at least got on the board. That's all I can say. But after that, I was like, whatever happens, happens. And of course, the Phillies won, so that was it, and everything was just fine in my household. I was not upset at all. Um, it is what it is. So the Phillies won, and congratulations to the Phillies and to everybody that was actually rooting hard for them. That's good. And Val, you said you watched the game and it was good. Didn't have to say any bad word. And you were rooting for it as well. And no work. Let's see. Trying to keep come to New Orleans and for the Mardi Gras. That's what I want to do. I might be able to get there one day. Hopefully I will. Hopefully I'll get there. And I want to say hi to you and Miss Mac and Jenny. Hi, how are you? You're not late. You're fine. Uh and you said snow today there where you are. And oh, okay, Val, you used to live in Louisiana. Okay. And Baker, no week had a week off of work and loved it. Okay, that's good. That's good. And let me see, Danielle, you said, okay, Robin, we just might have to have an impromptu daytime Zoom. Y'all better let me know what you want to do. And Leslie said the Eagles let them get on the board when they knew they couldn't come back to win. That probably was true, which was cool with me. Like I said, all I wanted to do was have them put a number on the board so they won't go home totally beaten to death because that was embarrassing. That's all I got to say on that one. That was embarrassing. You need to have something besides a goose egg. They did that, so it is what it is. Make the game a little bit interesting when anyway, leave that alone. And say congratulations to all of them, the best of the best. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it wasn't a team that my whole heart and soul was into. So that part, whenever I'm looking at a Super Bowl or any kind of football game where I don't really have any emotional ties to either one of the teams, then I go with the flow. I'm gonna tell you, I root for the winner. That's what I do. Whoever wins, who I root for. So I was cool. I was cool the whole night. No big deal. No big deal. Um, hey Deborah, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And yes, it is snowing in Virginia. Oh, you guys already got 4 inches of snow, and it's going to continue to two. And you grew up in Philly, so you were happy for the Eagles. Great, great, great. And Pearl, hi Pearl, how you doing? You wanted Philly to win. Um, Yeah, you know what? A lot of people wanted the Phillies to win, which is perfectly fine for me. I hear everybody's complaining that Mahomes is cocky and arrogant and all of that stuff, and sometimes humility does play a part. So maybe this is something that's going to bring him down a notch, and maybe he'll get his act together. And hey, SK, how you doing? I'm excited for this one today. Okay, good, good, good. Hopefully I'll give you some information that you can use. I hope so. And the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival is February 27th through March the 2nd in Hampton, Virginia. Thanks for putting that information out. I did happen to see that today. To be honest about it, it's kind of interesting that you brought that up because I did do a kind of a look-see to see what events were going on, what uh, um, vendor shows that were going on in coming up for the year of 2025 because I was watching Lisa Shaw today as I was making preparation to talk about Embrilliance, and one of her older videos mentioned the what is the name of it, the embroidery market. It's something EEM, and I'm losing what the first one is, the two E's are. But anyways, in Biloxi, Mississippi, every year, and I know that they were there last year, and I got an invite. I didn't go, not an invite, but notification that it was going to be this exhibit there. I didn't go, but I was quite interested in it, and they don't seem to have one that is scheduled for this year. And what I found to be interesting is that there's not a lot of embroidery events that are scheduled for this year as of yet. The year's early, but that's kind of not usual because most people schedule a year in advance. And the ones that had normally been scheduled weren't scheduled. So that was kind of interesting, wondering what that's all about. I don't know. If anybody's aware, let me know. But I just found that to be very interesting that they weren't any everything embroidery market. That's what it is. EEM. Everything embroidery market expo that they've been having in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I know it was there last year, but it has not been scheduled for this year. And when I looked up trade shows for the upcoming year or this year, they don't have a lot, not for embroidery anyway, which is kind of sad and disappointing that they don't, because what does that mean? But to your point, I did notice that it did mention the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival that was going to be held in Hampton, Virginia, like you said. So it's February 27th through March the 2nd. If anybody is interested in going, you know, that's the information. You might want to jump on board and get signed up for it. So thank you, Anne, for that information. Um, Yeah, and the quilt basket as well. And I think I saw that as well, but I don't remember when that is. And Leslie, you said you tuned in for the halftime show. And Rihanna was not on the halftime show this year, Leslie. That was SZA. SZA was on the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar, and Serena Williams came out and did her little crip dance, and that was it. I watched it, so yeah. Rihanna had her. If Rihanna was there, I missed it, and I think I saw everything. Okay. Hi, Jackie's crafty expression. How you doing? Hi, Marissa. How are you? Um, and you're going to go to that quilt show. That's good. That is good. Good to know. So hopefully there will be other people that are planning on going. And Kara, there was a football game on Sunday. You didn't pay much attention to it. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. If you're not into football or you don't have a hubby or a significant other somewhere around that's into football, I can see you missing it. But every male, well, I take that back. Practically everybody in my family, male and female, grew up on football because we had the Friday night lights in my high school, and my brothers and cousins and nephews and boyfriends and everybody, future husband, everybody played football in my high school. So if you weren't into football back in the day, something was wrong because that was what we did on a Friday night, whether you were in school or out of school or whatever was going on. So I grew up going to football games and watching football games. And I was in the band, so I actually performed at football games and what have you. So football is kind of in my blood. So I don't watch it religiously like I used to, but I will watch a good football game, especially if it's a good game and especially if it's a team that I'm rooting for, then that makes it so much more fun. So much more fun. Um, oh, okay. Leslie, you said you were talking about when Rihanna had her show. Oh, good. Thank you. I was hoping that. Yeah, I saw Rihanna. Actually, I have tried to watch every halftime because that was kind of like our thing, especially when I used to have the Super Bowl gathering at my home, and the ladies, we would be chit chatting in the kitchen and barely watching the game until halftime came on. And then when halftime came on, we would switch places with the guys, and the guys would be in the kitchen eating and carrying on, and the ladies would be in watching the halftime show. That's kind of how that went. That's where the interest was. But anyway, that is it. Look at Shirley. Go on with yourself on the halftime show. Yeah, yeah, girl. Halftime. Yeah, mm. Going to college and the battle of the band doing the halftime and stuff. Oh yeah, child. That used to be the thing, honey. It used to be the thing. Um, Jenny, you say your husband and you were going to the Eagles for the Eagles, even though they are not. That's fine. A lot of people did. And Val, I'm a football fanatic. I spent 7 years in the marching band. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. When you grew up with the band and all of that kind of stuff, that's kind of how it goes. And yes, Leslie, I do remember the Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake one. I remember the Prince. I remember the Michael Jackson. I remember Beyonce, Bruno Mars. You know it. You name it. I saw them all. I saw them all. Hey, Becky, how are you? And Faker McFake, Michael Jackson still the best halftime show. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I put that on Facebook. Somebody had asked that question, and I put down that my best halftime show was with when Michael came out there because that was my boy there. I'm telling you, I love me some Michael. Well, anyway, let me get into the program. I decided to talk a little bit about Embrilliance tonight because I know last week I did talk about digitizing programs and I talked quite a bit about Embrilliance and their Stitch Artists 1, 2, and 3. So I won't be going through any of the Stitch Artists for Embrilliance tonight. What I wanted to talk about are the modules that are basically for editing because I noticed that a lot of people are confused and they don't understand the modules, what they do, what the purpose, what's the difference, which one should I buy any or anything like that. And I want to put a disclaimer up right now. I don't have any affiliation with Embrilliance. They don't give me a nickel. They could, but they don't. But I have been using Embrilliance ever since I started embroidering. When I first got my single needle machine, my SE19 brother SE1900, I didn't obviously have an embroidery software. Didn't know you needed one, but I was looking at a lot of YouTube videos and what have you, and practically everybody was using or recommending Embrilliance. And I had not met Eve or seen any of her work before Eve with the baby booties because she's a So What Pro person or was at that time. And so everything I saw or heard was Embrilliance and Brilliance and Brilliance. So I naturally got the Embrilliance free express, tried it out, and decided to go ahead and invest in the Embrilliance software. So with that being said, I've been using Embrilliance ever since. And no other software per se. I have dabbled in other software, but 99.9% of the time, I'm using Embrilliance for everything that I do related to a embroidery software. So I'm not an Embrilliance software expert at all. Please don't think I am. No, I can't teach a class. None of that. I can let you know what I know, and I know enough to do most of the things that I want to do. But it's still a lot of things that Embrilliance can do that I don't know. So I want to start off with explanation because, like I said, I was looking at Lisa Shaw today, and she had an excellent analogy about Embrilliance that I want to share with you. And when I mentioned Lisa Shaw, she has a YouTube and a Facebook page, and I know she's affiliated with Embrilliance, and she teaches Embrilliance. She travels, she makes YouTube videos, and I think she's on Facebook and everything. So if you want to know anything about Embrilliance, just type in Lisa Shaw. She'll pop up, and it'll be a whole slew of different videos telling you how to do certain things in Brilliance. So I recommend that highly. But what she broke down to today when I was looking at the video made a lot of sense. She mentioned Embrilliance. She said, think about Embrilliance as a house. We all have homes, houses, been in, we know what a house is. Embrilliance is the company, and it is also the platform. But when someone says they have Embrilliance, they're really not giving you the whole picture of what they have because there is no quote unquote Embrilliance. It is modules that work in Embrilliance. Embrilliance is the platform. If anybody is familiar with Dime Tool Shed, it's the same concept. But anyway, Embrilliance is the platform. The modules are individual. They're like the rooms in the house, and each room has its purpose. You have a kitchen, dining room, bedroom, embroidery studio, what have you. You know what each room in your house function is. That's how the modules are. Each individual module has its own individual function. Now, they do work well together, but they don't necessarily depend on each other. Most of them are independent of each other. So you don't have to buy them in a sequence. You don't have to buy them all at one time or anything like that. She recommends that you, if you're considering Embrilliance software, that you download the Express module first, which is free. But keep in mind, it's bare bone. You don't get a chance to do much of anything with it other than look at the play with it and got to get a feel for what the icons do and those kinds of things. You can't really do a whole lot of editing with the Express, but it does give you a feel for what Embrilliance can do. So that's the recommendation. And I'm going to go through all of the modules and I'm going to tell you what they all can do and how they work in sync with each other. I may even have prices because they've been having these little 10% off sale off and on all of last year, and it seems like they're still doing it. So you're going to see prices. They come and go up and down, but it's usually within a 10% range. So just wait until you see 10% discount if you are deciding to do Embrilliance at all. So with that being said, here are the products of Embrilliance modules. The very first thing that they have outside of their Express, which is free, is Essential. Embrilliance Essential. And it is recommended if you are going to get Embrilliance at all, you start off with Essential. Why? Because it is pretty much the basic that you build. It's like a foundation that you build up on. Do you have to? No. But in order for you to get the most out of all the rest of the modules, it is recommended that you do start with Essential. That's the only one that they really suggest that you start off with first. Now, um, there's a side caveat with that, and that is Thumbnailer. Now, Thumbnailer is not an editing program at all. Thumbnailer is basically a program that doesn't do anything that has to do with embroidery other than allow you to see a visual picture of your embroidery designs or any kind of art that you may have on your computer. It will show you your vectors, it will show you your PNGs, your SVGs, your embroidery designs. All of that will show up if you install Thumbnail and Brilliance Thumbnailer on your computer. Your the Embrilliance recognizes or it works on either a Mac or a window platform, which is good. A lot of programs don't do that. Embrilliance work on Mac and Windows and Mac. And you can put your one software that you purchase on multiple computers without having to pay extra money. You can have a Mac and a Windows and have one purchase, and you can put that on your computers. She pretty much stated that the Embrilliance, as I mentioned, is the house, and as you add the rooms, which would be Essential, Enthusiast, and so forth and so on, you get the key to unlock the door and go into the software. And the key would be the serial number that you get every time you purchase a different module. You'll get a serial number, and then that module unlocks, and you have the ability to use all of the functions of that particular module that you just purchased. Hi, Joyce. How are you? Carol, you said you bought the whole wad and have no idea which module does what. I suggest one module at a time to get to know the software. Yes, I do too. I definitely don't recommend that you buy the whole shooting shebang at one time because just like Joyce said, and not Joyce, I'm sorry, Carol said and found out, you really need to get to know the software and know what it does because every time you purchase a module, you're not getting a whole new software to download. You're getting a serial number, and once you put that serial number into your platform, which is in Brilliance, then it unlocks the module that's already already available to you, and allows you to use it, and you get additional icons, and the icons don't tell you, okay, these icons are for Essential, and these are for Enthusiast, and these are for stitch artists, and these are for patchwork and all that stuff. It doesn't tell you that. They all come up there together. So again, like you say, you don't know which one is what if you put them all up there at one time, and that I can see can be very confusing. So thanks for making that comment, Carol, because that is true. So don't do what Carol did. Don't buy the whole shooting shebang at one time. Let's take our time and do it. So what's available as far as the modules are concerned? It is, well, I'm gonna tell you everything that Embrilliance has, and then we're gonna talk about the modules. So essential they have here is as first thing. And the next thing that's listed on their page, and that's what I'm reading, is Stitch Artist. And they have level one, two, or three. Or you can get level one and then upgrade. And you can upgrade um, from one to two and then from two to three. And the way it's priced, if you pay for one and then you upgrade to two, the additional fee is going to equal what you would have paid for if you had just gotten three. So you're not double, some kind of way it's not double, you're not double paying for it. And then so forth is the same with if you upgrade all the way up to three. And I don't really want to talk about Stitch Artists tonight, but what I am going to say as a caveat, just for a personal recommendation from me, from what I know, unless you are planning on doing some deep dive, serious uh, digitizing, you don't really need three. I would recommend one and two if you're going to go in that direction. You don't have to at all. But if there's certain things that you want to do over and above the enthusiast and the essential, then I wouldn't go all the way up to three unless you really want to do some real serious commercial digitizing. That's just my personal opinion based upon everything that I have read about those three modules. And that would be what I would do if I did decide to go in that direction. So let me tell you, I told you what Thumbnailer is. Thumbnailer lets you view embroidery designs in your operating system so that as you browse around your computer, you can see the designs without having to open them up. Who should own Thumbnailer? Every embroiderer. You will have tons of files and need to identify them easily. Thumbnailer is like having a favorite sewing notion, a great pair of thread snips, or a comfy pen. A simple, inexpensive, amazingly handy thing at your service at all times. That's what Thumbnailer is. That is true. Some people have a difficulty getting it um, to work. I did when I first got it, but I did get in touch with the tech, and they talked me into how to do it. And once I got everything set up and situated correctly, I love it. I love my Thumbnailer. I love the fact that I can see my designs when I download them. When you unzip them, if they're still zipped, only thing you're going to see is that zip file. But once you unzip it, you're going to see all of your designs. You're going to see the PDF. You're going to see everything that you downloaded. You'll also see PNGs and SVG files, and I see my thumbnails that I make for my Streamyard, and my, all of that stuff shows up in my thumbnails. So I love thumbnails. Embrilliance, as I mentioned, is a platform. And it says before we get into specific about product titles, you need to know that the Embrilliance platform is one program that every embroiderer owns. And well, not really, but you should know about. The platform is a program that opens designs and lets you type letters, create designs, and more, depending upon what products you have purchased to go in that platform. That's what the platform is. And the first part of the platform can be expressed as I mentioned, and which is free. And it says Express mode allows the use of the BX files, um, which are fonts. And the benefit of BX fonts, let me tell you, before I got Embrilliance or knew what Embrilliance could do, I had purchased a design bundle of fonts off of Etsy. Beautiful fonts, loved them, but they were the design fonts that you have to um, upload one at a time. You upload your A, you upload your B, your C, your D, your capital letters, your lowercase letters, your numbers, your all of that stuff. One at a time, one at a time. And I didn't know any difference, and that's what I did. But when I discovered BX fonts, once I got in Brilliance, it was a whole different ball game. BX fonts allows you to simply type out a word or words on your keyboard with whatever BX font you choose as your design, and it comes out. You don't have to load them in one at a time. You don't have to move them around to get them lined up. You don't have to do any of those things. They will line up. They will do everything all instantly. Now, can you adjust them, get them closer, further apart, bigger, smaller, curve, and all of those kinds of things? Can you manipulate the? Yes, you can. You can do that, which is great. And you can do that if you have Essential. But the mere fact that you only have to type in your wording and bam, hit the button and there it is a lot better than having to pull in a letter by letter by letter by letter one at a time with BX fonts. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to alpha tricks. But I just wanted to tell you about that. Now, Essential is what they are calling essential. And you know, when something is essential, that means necessary. So it is stated that the reason they named it essential is because it will provide you with any and everything that you need to do editing. You know, the basics of editing designs, embroidery designs. You can do that with Essential. You can merge embroidery designs in almost any format, even while they are in zip files. You can resize the designs and the stitch will be recalculated so you don't lose the registration and the density and all of that. You can colorize embroidery designs and convert between thread brands. You can add letterings to your embroidery designs in multi-line, monograms, circles, swirls, all of that. You can adjust the size. You can even spiral the text or make them really large and all of that. And it also includes 12 scalable object-based fonts. So you get 12 fonts and you have the ability to do the things that I just mentioned. Now, those aren't the only things that you can do with Essential, but those are the main things that you can do with Essential. So if you just want to do something basic, you want to bring a design in, you want to edit it, you want to make it bigger, smaller, you want to add, change the colors, you want to add some words to it, or you want to put another design with it, those kinds of things, because you can merge. That's what Essential does. It's essential. It's basic. You can do all of those things. Modify letters and create monograms with built-in placement, templates, and styles, including slant, spacing, curve, vertical, diagonal, all of those things you can do with Essential. And back to you, Carol, those are the things that you were able to do if you had only gotten Essential, and the icons will tell you how to do those or what to do. Um, you can sequence the lettering to run left to right, reverse, center out for easy hat and cap text, and use monogram sequences to stitch specific letters on top of the rest. Convert lettering objects to stitch for inserting mid letters, color changes, and functions. You can do all of that. And then you can save it in all of the machine formats that you use. You have a conversion of function, whereas if you buy a um, format that is not formatted for your machine, like I've done, I see something I really like and it doesn't happen to be a DST or a PES, I can still, it could be a ART, it could be what other those other formats may be. I can bring it into Embrilliance Essential, go into up in the icon that allows you to convert your format. I keep mine on PES, so every design that comes into my software automatically converts to PES, whether it is or not. And I don't have to worry about whether or not I have the correct format that my machine is going to read. So that part is never an issue for me since I have Embrilliance. And it says it can save to the CSD, DST, the EXP, the HUS, the JEF, all of these different ones, the SEWs. So you guys that have different machines other than Brothers, you know what your format is. You can definitely do that uh, conversion if you happen to have something that is different. Okay, what else can it do? Which is essential, because I don't want to tell you what Enthusiast can do yet. It also says that you can save appliques for cutting machines such as Brother Cut and Scan, your Cricut, your Sizzix, your Silhouette, Cameo, all of that, Romeo, Juliet, all of that. And there is a Romeo and a Juliet. You can save all of that. You can automatically split embroidered designs for common multi-positional hoops. You can get project advice for many difficult embroidery tasks and materials, and we talked about that at the Zoom. Um, my so along group, we were talking about how do we know what needle to use, what stabilizer to use, and so forth and so on. And I mentioned that if you have Embrilliance, then you have that information at your fingertip. You just go up into the toolbar that is a fabric advisor or project advisor, and you click on that, and you can actually put in what material you're going to be stitching on, and it will tell you exactly, well, it would recommend to you exactly what stabilizer to use, what needle to use, um, all of that. It just tells you what you need to do to have a successful stitch out for that particular design in case you don't know or you're not sure, and then you can give it a try. You can save working files so that you can edit them and replace them later. They have the ability for you to save it on your USB, or you can send it directly to your embroidery machine if your machine has that function. Or and you also can save it with a um, BE file, which allows you to edit it again. Once you save it to your machine's format, then that is fixed. But if you save it as a BE file and a save as PES or SEW or whatever your format is, then if you want to modify that design, if you created it, added a name or whatever, say you made this beautiful apple and you uh, created it and decorated it and put somebody the teacher's name on it, and you want to give all the teachers that your kid goes to that same design and they have different names, instead of having to recreate this beautiful applique apple design, all you do is create it, save it as a BE, and when you want to change the name, at some point you can pull that design up, go in there and change the name, stitch that out, and then you don't have to recreate the wheel, pretty much is what I'm saying. um, you can also save notes on individual designs in your file to store special instructions and information. And you can print real size embroidery designs templates for support for scanning and cutting systems. And I use the print function all the time. because I like to print out my design and cut it out and have the hash mark on there and place it on my project so I can center it, put it exactly where I want it. And it's going to print real size. So I know exactly how big it's going to be. You know, you can scale it the way you want it. If you want it to be a 3x4 or 2 by whatever, you can scale it that way, print it out, and cut it out, stick it on your project, and you can visualize exactly how that's going to stitch out, what size it's going to be, where it's going to fit, if it's going to fit, all of those kinds of things. You can do all of that, and all of that is still in Embrilliance Essential. um, Overlap embroidery designs and have significant hidden stitches removed. And I want to make sure that I'm not, because I think I each one of these modules do different things, and I want to make sure that you are aware of what the difference is. Okay, so this is still essential. So as you can see, essential does a whole lot. Overlap embroidery designs and have significant hidden stitches removed, which is really good. You can set jump stitches for automatic trimming, hand trimming, and or connecting run stitches. Now that's something that I'm going to have to learn how to do because I really want to learn how to get rid of these unnecessary jump stitches. But just keep in mind that can be done with your embroidery, your essential module. You definitely can run a simulator to show how it's going to stitch. You can import and type text using the popular BX font, which I mentioned. Um, you can group and ungroup objects, change or remove individual colors and embroidery designs. If you want to get rid of something and everything that you want to get rid of is a certain color, you can just go over into your properties uh, window and just delete those colors, and you've deleted those that part of the design. So you can just modify your whole thing. Um, Somebody said, I'm trying to make sure I don't uh, miss anybody. 2011 Miss Mac, you said, unfortunately or fortunately, I purchased all three Stitch Artist modules and you're using them, but it is my goal to learn by next year. I do a lot of custom work, which I now send out to have digitized. Uh, well, it's not unfortunate because now you have it. You don't have to buy them. My recommendation is basically for those people that are on the fence trying to decide what to buy and they haven't spent the money. Because unfortunately or fortunately, I have invested in Hatch digitizing software as well as Brother PE11, and I haven't used either one of them. But I don't see it as an issue because at some point in life, hopefully, I will learn how to use some of them. And I have played with both of them. I'm not just put a lot of effort into learning how to use it. So I don't think investing in different softwares that are going to do things for you as something that's unfortunate. I mean, yeah, that's money spent that you probably could have used to do something else with. But as long as you do eventually use it, then it's a benefit. And if you're willing to learn how to use it, then I don't see that as being a anything unfortunate. I just and the reason why I said I'm not going to get Stitch Artist 3 is specifically because I already have two robust digitizing software and I don't need another robust module. The reason that I have an interest in Stitch Artist 1 and 2 now that I've read more about it is because I know how to use my Embrilliance pretty well. And I figured that if I did add Stitch Artist 1 and 2 to what I already have, that I would use it more. And therefore, I would be able to do a little digitizing, because it's not like I'm trying to learn a whole new software and all of that. That's my rationale. But again, I don't know if that's what I'm going to do or not, because it's not going to be anytime in the near future. Not this year anyway, I don't think. And Jenny, you say you got all three as well and want to learn it, but work gets in the way. Yeah. And there you got kicked off. Okay. I was wondering what had happened, because I saw it where you said hello. Um, and Robin said, don't forget to give me thumbs up, y'all." Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And Miss Mac, you say your concentration level is not as acute as it used to be, but you still plan to get there. Yeah, we have so much to do. We have so much to learn and do, and we keep adding things to our plate. And as Miss Max mentioned, we all pretty much know, none of us are really spring chickens around here. And when we start adding all the projects that we're trying to do, and then also try to learn how to do things, which we are learning, we just don't learn at the same pace anymore like we used to. And Val, you say you do digitize some of your items, but the really intense things you sent out, yeah, yeah, yeah. And hey, Kim, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. And you said you can teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can. I agree with that 100%. I'm an old dog, and I'm always learning new tricks. It may take a little longer and a few more treats, but I do learn. I do learn. Uh, Also, you sort colors, which I love to sort colors as well. That's another thing that I love about my essential is sorting colors. And if you um, know what that is, if you have, oh, what's a perfect example? You have a design that may have 10 colors and you got 25 stops. And you can appreciate this for those of us that do and have used single needle machines. You use your red and your blue out of those 25 stops. You're going to use red and blue 10 times. You use your yellow, your red, your blue, your green, then you use your red, your blue, then your purple, then you use your red and your green and your white. And you're constantly taking the red and the blue off and putting it back on, taking it off, putting it back on, taking it off, putting it back on. If you color sort and the design is set up where it is going to stitch out correctly by color sort, you have to be very careful with that. Some things aren't good to color sort, but Essential recognizes that too. And it won't color sort something that is not going to stitch out correctly. It will color sort it, but certain letters or certain colors won't get sorted completely. But that's another thing. But anyway, it will have you stitch out all your red at one time, all your blue at one time, all your yellows at one time, and all of that. So it will cut down on your changes. You'll go from 25 changes to maybe 10 changes, which saves you so much time. And I love that. When I have designs that have a zillion million color stops, I always go in and hit the color sort and look at it and see if that's going to work for me. You do the stitch simulator to see how that's going to stitch. And if that makes sense to me, it's a go. We're color sorting, saving time, getting all the reds out, all the blues out, all the yellows out, all of that at one time. And then when it's all said and done, you have saved a tremendous amount of time. And if your single needle machine will do that, and it should, if you use Embrilliance and you have it set up that way, you should be able to use it whether it's multi-needle, single needle. That's going to save you a heck of a lot of time. And that alone would be a reason for the software, if you ask me. If you ask me, that alone would be a reason. And it does say the color stops intelligently to group elements in a color together, accounting for proper overlapping. That's what the color sort does. Um, you can undo all your changes. You can fit the designs to your hoop with stitch recalculation, so it keeps it the registration, the underlay, and all of that stuff perfect. So you can make it big, make it small. It has the intelligence to know how big that you can make it without it being distorted, or how small you can make it without it being distorted, which is good because you don't want to make it so big where it's not going to stitch out correctly. And even if you do manipulate the sizes and stuff, it is highly recommended that you do a stitch out just to check and make sure that it is going to stitch out properly. But usually it will, because the Embrilliance Essential does a good job with the recalculation of the stitches. You can align and distribute elements in your embroidery design. You can add basting stitches to your embroidery design, which is wonderful if you're stitching on material like satin or the minky or something like that that slips and slides around, or your beanies that are real stretchy and stuff, and you're not going to do the knockdown and stuff. You put a basting stitch around it, and that holds that stabilizer in place where it's not slipping and moving around, then you'll get a chance to stitch a much better design that way. So it will do the basting. Um, so that tells you pretty much what you can do. You can send your designs wirelessly to Brothers and Baby Lock machines as well. So that's a huge rundown on what the Essential can do, and it's not even everything that Essential can do. Essential just can do a whole lot, and I haven't even gotten to a different module. So that's just the Essential module. The Essential module usually runs around 179. um no, it's done, I lied, 139. 139 is what it normally runs for. So they do have sales. Sometimes the prices change, so don't quote me on that price. But it's very affordable for everything that it. My computer went black. I don't know why, but it came back. So if you guys saw that, that's what happened. But it's very affordable, so it's worth the money. It's very much worth the money if you decide to get it. So Kim, you said you spent the day going through a million buckets of sewing, quilting, and smocking threads, and there's nothing worse than finding a half-sewn pair of pajamas that is missing the collar. Kim, here's a question. All righty, let me see if I can answer that question for you. Can Embrilliance be used on any machine? I have an old FOF 7570 which can connect to a computer for embroidery. Really work with this. Um, Embrilliance is a software that works on your computer. It can be a Mac or it can be window based. Now, how you get your edited design into your computer is based upon into your embroidery machine is based on the functioning of your embroidery machine. But once you have edited to edit your design, as long as your machine can read that edited design, then it will work. So, what I'm saying is, if you normally use a USB or you use wireless to send a design from your computer to your machine, be it USB or wireless, the editing of the design should not affect whether or not your machine can stitch it out, as long as it is the correct format. So I would have to say, yes, it should work on your 57570. The Embrilliance is a platform, and then the modules work with it. So you said Embrilliance, and we have to, and I'm guilty of it too. When we say we use Embrilliance, we're basically saying we use the platform, but what module of that platform do we actually use? And I'm talking about all the different modules that are available. So if you're using Embrilliance with module Essential or Enthusiast or Stitch Artist or Patch Artist or Density Repair, any of those, if your machine reads that format, what if it's a FOB, I don't know what your FOB format is. I know Husqvarna is the HUS, Viking, I don't know, something with a V. Anyway, whatever that format is, if your machine reads the format on your USB, then however you edit it on your in Embrilliance platform, it should be readable. It doesn't look like it should be a problem. And yes, there is a free version. I mentioned that a few minutes ago. I don't think you had come on. The free version is called Embrilliance Express. It is free. It is very basic. It gives you the opportunity to give it a try to see the um, how the icons work and what have you. And right here it says the platform can be run in express mode. And when they say the platform, they're talking about Embrilliance. And express mode is, which is free to all. Express mode allows the use of the BX installed fonts. And what else does it do? It's a free tool that helps letter makers map their designs to the keyboard. That's the BX. And what else does the Express do? It doesn't talk a lot about what Express does, because Express is basically try it to see if you like me situation. It doesn't do a whole lot of things that it will edit, but it's very little editing. You can do your fonts. You can't, I don't think you can resize your fonts or anything like that. I know you can do some arrangements and things like that, but like I said, it's very limited what the Express module will do. But it does give you an opportunity to try it out, look at the icon, see if you understand the icon, see if you like how it maneuvers before you actually invest in a module that costs money. And the first module that costs money is what I was speaking about, and that happens to be the essential. You don't have to buy the modules in an order. The only thing I can advise, and what Lisa Shaw advises, which is kind of like the Embrilliance Guru, is to start off with Embrilliance Essential, then go from there with whatever else you may need. And so the next one that I'm going to talk about is Enthusiast, because I'm not going to talk about the digitizing software that they have, which is Stitch Artist 1, 2, and 3. I talked about that last week, so I'm not going to talk about that this week. I just want to talk about the editing, customizing softwares that they, modules that they have for the Embrilliance platform. Hi, Sean. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Um, and Kim, you say you think Fa speaks German. I might have to, yeah, try the free version. Just check it out. And Sean, you are saying, good evening, Miss Shirley and Chad. I have been listening from the TV. And Brilliance can save files to fit. Yes, they can. And the formats for FOF machines are PCS, VIP for older model machines, and VP3. Thank you for that information. I do appreciate it that you dropped in and gave us that information. And as I was stating earlier, you can convert any design that you bring into Embrilliance to the file that is necessary for your particular machine. So with that being said, like I mentioned, it should work on your machine. I don't see any reason why it won't. Okay, Kim, you're saying you have to brush up on your programming languages. SVG is a cut file. It is not an embroidery design. PES is a design, and it is basically a format for a brother. PCS also will work on a brother. That is also an embroidery design format. VIP also is an embroidery design format. So everything is an embroidery design format that you put up here except for an SVG. An SVG is not an embroidery design. However, if you have the right software, which Stitch Artist 2 can convert it to an embroidery design software, which is their digitizing module. But we ain't getting into that because I don't do that, but I do know it can do that. So that is that. Um, and thank you, Sean, for that information. I do appreciate it. So now we're going to talk about Enthusiast. Now I have Embrilliance Thumbnailer. I have Embrilliance Essential, and I have Embrilliance Enthusiast. I also have Embrilliance patch making software, which is now called Patch Artist. When I bought it, it was Marillo, but it's that Patch Artist. So that's what I have. I have Thumbnailer, Essential, Enthusiast, and Patch Artist. Those are the four modules that I own, and I'm able to do everything that I want to do. I do plan to buy their density repair kit and their alpha tricks. Those are the other two that I intend to get. And I think I will be pretty happy with everything that I have. Now, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to get Stitch Artist 1 and 2. I may and I may not, but it won't be anytime soon. But I definitely want the repair kit and the alpha tricks, and I'll tell you why when I finish telling you about Enthusiast. And I'm gonna run through that quickly because I'm seeing that the time is getting away from us. Um, and they also have font collections. I'm not worried about the font collections. I may or may not ever buy those because I got tons of fonts that I get elsewhere. And you know, okay, so Enthusiast is another module. It normally runs around $179. And I mentioned that the Essential runs around 139. They come and go in fluctuate with the price. Right now, Enthusiast is costing up until the 15th of February, 169. So anybody interested in that, it is on sale for 169. Enthusiast includes advanced stitch file editing and composition, automatic knockdown stitching, custom hoops and thread palettes, and advanced manual density and pull compensation adjustment tools for those who want to get more value out of their design collection. Of course, it edits stitches, removes jump stitches, and selects separate portions of stitch file, all with the easy use of a stitch selection tool. I love my Enthusiast. I am so glad that I got both. The knockdown stitches is, I'm pretty sure all of you know what knockdown stitches are. Perfect example, if you stitch on a towel. Do I have one here? don't think so. But if you stitch on a towel that has the plush um, loft, it the knockdown will uh, put a bunch of thread, a lot of thread that flattens that loft down. It'll just stitch, stitch, stitch all over that area in the same shape of the design that you plan on stitching. It will knock those stitches down flat so you can put your design on top of the flat stitches. This eliminates the need for using water soluble stabilizer on that towel with the loft. And it's gorgeous. It looks really, really nice. I normally have that stuff out, but I've been moving stuff around, so I don't have anything that I can put my hand on right now that I have actually done knockdown stitches on. I don't see a thing. I put all this stuff up because I'm moving. I got to pack. So I'm moving stuff around. But anyway, the knockdown stitch is a lifesaver. And I use my knockdown stitches, and you only get that in Enthusiast. It is not in Essential. You also can do multiple hoopings. Now, I know I mentioned multiple hoopings in the Essential, but I do know that you can do multiple hoopings with your Enthusiast as well as split designs. When I do my big jumbo hoop split designs for my jacket backs, I was able to do the split design using my Enthusiast. I was not able to do it with my Essential. So Enthusiast allowed me to be able to do the split designs for my jumbo hoop for my brother machine that's behind me to do my jacket backs. That's what I use. I have several videos on on my channel showing you doing jacket back designs and using my split hoop. Um, the other thing it does is that does not happen in Essential, which is very important. Say, for instance, you have a design that has multiple objects in the design, and you only want one part of that object. Let me give an example. I'm assuming everybody can see up in my where my finger is pointing up there, right there, where my little logo with the cartoon of me standing by the embroidery machine. If you have that design, or I have that design, and I want to just have me and don't have the embroidery machine, I can use a stitch regulator that's in Enthusiast, not Essential, and they have a tool that you can use that is called a lasso. They have one that's a square, and they have one that is called a lasso, and you have to go into the stitch regulator, I think it's called, and you can literally freehand around me and make sure that you catch me and don't catch, you gotta catch all of me standing up there, and you take that lasso with your mouse and go all the way around it. And you can literally separate me from the machine. Separate it, copy it, paste it on a new page, and have a completely different design without the machine. So you you may say, well, just ungroup it. Ungrouping does not work. You can ungroup, but ungroups the colors, the layers. It doesn't ungroup the designs that are on here together. That has to be separated with the stitches separated, not the colors. Because if you ungroup, it's just like if you know anything about how to do SVGs or PNGs or anything like that in Cricut or Silhouette or whatever. They have the grouping and ungrouping where you put things together and you take them apart. It's the same concept. If you take it apart, you're going to take the red away from the black, away from the brown, away from the gray. That's ungrouping. You're not going to take the little person away from the machine. That has to be done with the stitch regulator and either the lasso, which is freehand, or the square. For me, I always use the lasso, and I love it because I've had several situations where um, person wanted to use a particular design but didn't want everything that was in that design. It's like, I want to use this, but I don't want to use that. What can I do? And I said, well, you go in here and you click on this and you click on that and you put the lasso around and you hit delete and bam, it's gone. And you don't have it anymore. Well, you don't have it on your screen anymore. It's gone for that particular design. And therefore you can get rid of it or you can move it to another page and you can do all of that. So that I love. Those are the things that I use the most, that I know that I use from Enthusiast, is the knockdown stitches, the stitch regulator, and the jumbo hoop um, split hoop. So Pearl, you said, is it best to buy Enthusiast instead of Essential or both? Now, that's an excellent question. Remember, if you were on here when I mentioned the rooms, where each room has its own purpose, what in Essential does one thing, Enthusiast does another thing, this repair does another thing. They all do different things. So if you don't buy Essential, you're not going to get those fonts. You're not going to get some of the things that Essential does. So for me, my recommendation would be to get them both if you want to have a more complete editing uh, suite. Now, will Enthusiast work without Essential? Yes. Will Essential work without Enthusiast? Yes. But will you get the full complement of what you would want to do as a person that is wanting to edit their designs to do a lot of really cool things? For me, when I got Essential, I quickly realized that I also wanted Enthusiast. I was happy with the fact that I purchased Enthusiast as well because I got a chance to do additional things. I didn't want to lose the stuff that I was already doing, the ability to do that. I just wanted to add on to it. So for me, buying them both was essential to me. But keep in mind, you don't have to have both of them to function, but you get a much more complete suite of customizing editing tools with both. That's my thought on it, if that makes any sense to you. And the thing that I want to emphasize, even though I know money is money and nothing's cheap, $140 for Essential and $180 for Enthusiast gives you what, 320, $30 for the both, which is not a bad investment for everything that it does. And the best thing about the whole situation, you don't have to do it all at one time. They're modules. You can buy them individually. You do not have to buy the whole shooting shebang at one time. You buy what your pocket tells you to buy. And that's what I did. I did not buy them all at once. I bought Essential first. I used it for a while. When I realized that I wanted Enthusiast, then I bought it and added it on. So it didn't hurt my pocketbook. It didn't make me sad or anything. And it wasn't a stress because, like I said, I didn't jump in and buy it all at one time. and but I was able to benefit from it. And I've had Enthusiast and Essential ever since I started, because when I got Essential was right after I started embroidering uh, during the pandemic in 2020. And I think maybe a month in, I bought Essential, and maybe the second or third month in, if that long, I bought Enthusiast. So that's how long I've been using it. And I didn't buy anything else until 2021, 22, before I bought the patchwork, the patch artist. So I just used those two, and I was perfectly content. Well, I bought other stuff, but anyway, I didn't buy any more Embrilliance stuff. I put it that way. I have to admit, I'm about a bunch of other stuff, but that's okay. We ain't going there. Hi, Arlene. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Carol said, "Don't be a Carol. Buy it one at a time." And Pearl, hopefully that did uh, help you out. And you said you want the knockdown stitch too. I am so happy that I have my enthusiast, because I use my knockdown. I use my stitch regulator. I use my jumbo hoop split design. I use enthusiast and essential every day. Every day. And I know that I do, because I'm not like Carol. I don't have everything. So I know exactly what format or what module I'm using, because I did mention I had the patch artist, but I know specifically what the patch artist is, what those icons are, because they're specifically for making patches. So I know for a fact that I am using my essential and my enthusiast for everything that I do for editing my software. So I'm getting my money's worth out of it. I don't have anything just sitting there collecting dust or what have you. Um, you also get precise positioning, because it does have an icon up there where you can position everything. You can make sure it's in the middle. You can align it, distribute it, all of that kind of stuff. You can mirror times 4. You can do instant repeat. You can do scatter and carousel. There's an advanced thread palette editor, and when you combine it with Essential, it says you have the advanced stitch properties, and you can save it to a PNG file, it says. Now, I was talking about the stitch editing. Let me read and tell you what it says. Embrilliance Enthusiast gives you the powerful, easy to use tools for stitch editing. You can select stitches in any design using lassos and similar tools, allowing you to move, delete, copy, paste, split, rotate, and more your designs. Select and use a simple slider to repair gaps in stitches, adjust compensation, or select and click to change stitch types from satin to split satins to frills and back. Select and correct stray stitches, including cleaning up jump stitches and ensuring the stitches before and after the jump trims. The ability to edit individual stitches is amazingly useful, and I agree. Now, I have to tell you, I know how to do a lot of the things that I just mentioned, but I don't know how to do them all. But there are videos that Lisa Shaw has on practically all of that. So when I'm trying to do something and I can't figure out how to do it myself, I just look at her video. They go on to say that sometimes there are parts of a design, like I mentioned, that you simply don't want, or that you want to move and replace it. Other times there are overly dense tangles of stitches that simply cannot be removed automatically, and you want to take out what you don't need. So sometimes you may even want to add a few stitches to eliminate a gap or increase coverage in an area that's not necessarily a fill. These are the things that you can do with Enthusiast. And I mentioned the multiple hoopings that you can do and the split designs and everything that you can do. So where you can use a larger hoop. The largest hoop that my machine will use is the jumbo hoop if I do a split design, and it's a 14 by 14. I have to split my design in order to use that jumbo hoop. So for me to have Enthusiast, that was another reason why I got it. I can now do my jacket backs because you guys know I love a jacket back. So those are the reasons why I bought my Enthusiast. It didn't take me long to figure out that I needed to do that if I was going to do what I really wanted to do. Let me see what else they say about Enthusiast. Uh, Mirror time 4, you take corner designs and perfectly set them in all four corners in the embroidery hoop or at other distance. That helps you to make wreaths and like for monograms and you want to make the wreaths around it or some kind of design like that makes it really really easy to do. You can do instant repeat. That's really good when you're doing patches like for your big hoop, like the 8 by 13 hoop that you have for the machine, multi-needle machine. If I create a patch and I want to make 10 patches, I don't have to copy paste, copy paste, copy paste to get to 10. I could just make one, then I hit the button that says to multiply them, and I put the numbers in how many I want to go in horizontally and how many I want to go vertically. Hit the button, and bam, I got the whole hoop filled with that one patch. And then I can stitch it out, color sort, stitch that puppy out, and save time, just like that. That's making money. That's making money. Okay, and carousel. Carousel is pretty much what it says. You can make it round or oval arrangement where you can just have all of your designs just going around like a wreath, and then you can rotate it the way you want it and just make a beautiful design. And so it can do all of that. All of that you can do with Embrilliance, and you can save your image. It says the utility menu has a command to save the design page as a transparent PNG image for use on the web, marketing materials, or sharing it, which I did not know until I was reading this. I did not know because I guess I missed that part. I did not know that I can create a design and turn it into a PNG. That's good to know. And then I talk to you about the knockdown stitches. And I love my knockdown stitch. So that's pretty much what Essential can do and much more. You would have to, you can create your thread palette and all of that kind of stuff. If I use mostly Floriani, so I can set my palette up where I don't have anything that comes up with Floriani thread for the color. So it will help me with the conversion of the colors that I need to use for that particular design using the threads that I normally use. So that is just a tip of the, you know, iceberg as far as what enthusiasts will do. And those are the two main modules that I would recommend for any and everybody that's interested in buying or using Embrilliance. Do the Express first, see if it's something you like. It's free. And then if you make up your mind to buy anything, go ahead and get Essential first. That's my recommendation. And Kim, it does it by brand. So rayon would be a type. It would do it by brand. You can pick like a Madeira rayon thread if that's what you use, or whatever brand that you use in that um, in that area where you can create the palette. They have a whole list of different threads that you can choose from, and some of them are something other rayon, what have you. So it just depends upon what your brand is that you use. But back to what I was saying, enthusiast and essential would be what I would recommend. That's what I have. Now, I did decide to do patch artist, which was initially Merrily, Merrowly, and they upgraded it last year, changed the name to patch artist, and did some extra stuff to it. I got the upgrade free, which is good. I love it because it makes patches out of anything. You can make a patch out of any design that you have on on your computer. I don't care what it is. You can make a patch out of it with this software. I have made um, last year, for those of you that went to the expo, the Sewing and Quilt Expo in Fredericksburg, and I had this camo jacket on, and it was covered with patches. I made every one of those patches with this particular software, and what I did, I just saw designs that I liked, or I created design because some of them had my initials on. I had HBCU. I had so too we begin embroidery. I had the chair from the Louisiana Brawl. I had FAFO. I had all kinds of stuff. And I just created it and turned it into a patch, made the patch, stuck it on my coat. So I had patches of whatever I want. So whenever I want to make a patch, my son um, had me make several patches for his cap and his book bag and other things out of his logo. And I just took the logo design, created it into a patch, and I was able to stitch it out. And I did all of that stuff. Quick, simple, click the button, you make a patch. That's what I did. So that's what I loved. That's what I love about the patch artist software. It says Patch Artist is a versatile software tool and an extensive collection of resources to allow you to create beautiful patches with a classic, clean, fold, overlock edge. And it does. It lets anyone create custom contour and custom size patches with a click, starting from any embroidery design or text. And it works. It does that. Patch artists will help you make professional looking patches for everything easily. Clubs and sports, special events, first responder, custom uniform pieces, band and theater, any costume, whatever. You also get uh, fonts with it. I think you get 12 fun fonts that come with it, small fonts and regular size fonts. They come in different sizes and even small enough where you need to use the 60 weight thread so you can make patches that have the little words and stuff on it. You have over 150 patch designs and shapes that you can use. They have the patches that are the regular where they're round or they're square or they're oval or they're rounded edge, but you also can do the ones that hold on, let me show you my jacket. Then I can kind of explain a little bit more. Okay, this is my jacket. These are some of the patches that I did. This is my HBCU and MBSU is my school. That's what I had on my Mississippi Valley. That's my alma mater. And I have my MBSU patch, my HBCU patch. On the back, I now these are regular designs that I just this design that says Queen, if you can see it, you can see Queen. This that particular design, I was able to make this patch from a design that I actually have on the back of a jacket that's big. I what else did I do? And see how the patch satin stitch goes around the shape of the design. It does that. Um, Here's another one. This is a design that I have on a jacket back. So that big design, big enough for a jacket bag, I was able to make it small enough for a patch. All of these patches are patches that I made from just designs that I had. Just designs that I had. Just simple. And I wanted to show you how the patch can hug around. This one particular, the nurse, where are we? Right here. See how it follows the shape of the design, go around the shape of the design. It does that. So all of these patches that I have on this coat are just simple designs that I have. And they're big designs that I can put on a shirt, jacket, what have you. But using this particular patch design, I could make them small enough and put the satin stitch around and make them into patches. So this is my patch coat that I have. And like this one here, I created, I made this myself. Yeah. The shape and everything. So soul to soul stitches and things, which was the name that I was using at the time before I went to thread work. And this is name of my Soul to We Begin embroidery. I did that one. So just stuff that you can do. All of that with the software that I just mentioned. So not trying to sell you on the patchwork, just letting you know that that is something that you can do if you're into patches, you want to make patches, and you're interested in it. This particular software that runs around $200, yeah, about $199, I think it is, can do all of that, and it's easy. That's the part I like about it. It's just, frankly, it's called pay. It's called wraparound, where it wraps around the word and like it wraps around that word. That's called wraparound. So that is patch art. And let me get to the next one. I just want to talk. It's two more that I want to talk about. And one of them is called density repair kit. And the only reason I want to bring up density repair kit is because it's one that I'm thinking about getting. I've been thinking about getting it for a while. What's the purpose of density repair kit? If you it only has basically one purpose. It will look at the density of your design that you have, and you can tailor the density of your design to the fabric that you're using. Say, for instance, you have a very dense design that you just love to death and you want to put it on a t-shirt. Now, you know you can't put 200 some odd stitches, 200,000 stitches on a t-shirt and have it look nice. That's too much. You can use density repair, go into your project advisor, put in the fabric that you're going to use, and it will convert that design down to the appropriate stitches that will look good on that density stitches that will look good on that particular fabric. So you can put now I'm not going to say something super dense, put it on something sheer, but you can test it out to see if it'll work. That's the purpose of density repair. It repairs the density of your design so it will stitch out appropriately on the fabric that you want to use it on. That is what it does. It removes hidden stitches within a design so it sews thinner, cleaner, and with less chance of thread and needle breakage. It declumps design area that are oversewn repeatedly with the same color. It filters small stitches that would otherwise create thread buildups and jam the machine, reduces the density in designs shrunk to fit a smaller hoop. So if you got a big design, like I had a big design and I made it small for my patch, which I don't have density repair, and you see I still was able to make it small and make it work, and I only used my Enthusiast and Essential because I don't have density repair yet, but I was able to do that. But it reduces the density in designs shrunk to fit a smaller hoop. It increases density of designs for better coverage. So if you have a design and you made it bigger and you got holes in it, you know, it's not as dense as it needs to be, you can correct that. Manually tune density in selected color areas. Display the density of designs to see how they'll sew before expending time and thread on sampling. They have a mapping system that you can look at and see how it's kind of get an idea of how it's going to stitch out. Limit the density of your designs based on the fabric and the thread that you are using. That's what I want to do. Inform you on how best to embroider your selected project or fabric. Density Repair Kit recommends the stabilizer, hooping technique, needle type and size, and thread weight. What is this? Did you guys see that? That's like the third time. Oh, look like I'm having some technical difficulties. Can you hear me? Look, I'm having technical difficulty here. I don't know what happened, but something happened, but I'm back. Don't know how long that's going to be. You know how this stuff goes. Come on, y'all. Come on. Tech, technology ain't got no control over what technology does, but it did what it did. What can I say? It did what it did. So hopefully I won't disappear. You're back. Must be the snow. Could be. Could be the weather. You're right. Anyway, sorry about that. Uh, and of course, it saves time and money, reduce stitch counts, which saves an enormous amount of time and thread usage. And the proper density adjustment allows projects to complete successfully. So it says the density repair kit project time and thread savings of 15 to 30% are common. And that is the reason why I want to use it. Now, it can run with or without Essential or any other Embrilliance platform, but uh, it's so cool. He thinks everyone should have it. So, like I said, I'm very much interested in getting it to go with my arsenal, not because of anything I have to do. I just want to expand and be able to make sure that I can um, have the correct density. Because there are times when I know for a fact that I don't have the proper density um, for some of the products that I want. But so that's what I want. So the last one that I wanted to talk about is Alpha Tricks. And for the longest, I said I did not want Alpha Tricks. I didn't feel the need for it, and it's around $120 when it's not on sale. Right now, it's on sale for 105. AlphaTrix is an advanced lettering system for machine embroidery. You can easily create keyboard fonts from lettering collections, manage the fonts by organizing, naming, sorting, and filtering, reduce load times of large font collections, scale lettering with stitch recalculation, customize, combine with stitch files and print templates. Basically, what you can do with AlphaTrix, if you have a lot of fonts, like I mentioned early on, that you bring in one by one by one by one, AlphaTrix can convert them to act just like BX fonts do. So basically, you can turn those fonts into quasi BX fonts where all you have to do is just type your lettering, your wording, whatever it is, and bam, there it is. You have your name, your verses, whatever it is you're trying to do, and you don't have to bring them in one by one by one. That's what AlphaTrix does. It allows you also to rename your fonts if you want to rename them, reorganize them, so they'll be easier to find. Because if you like me, I go through my fonts, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, looking for that right font, and sometimes I can find it, sometimes I can't. I probably, if I get it, probably won't rename them, but you can. Um, they call it mapping. That's what they call it. Font importer maps individual lettering design files into a useful keyboard alphabet. So that's what it does. It includes baseline, monogram, and other adjustments, making real embroidery fonts out of single letters. And it Font Library handles organizing, filtering, tagging, managing, and discovering fonts within large collection. And it loads in thousands of fonts by and reduce the time into half. It allows you to size your fonts. And what I read, it sounds like you can make the fonts larger than what is normally allowed with the fonts that we currently have in Embrilliance. I'm not 100% sure that is true, but that's kind of the way that I'm interpreting what I'm reading. And Ms. Mack, you said density is great for purchase design. You say you're still having trouble. I still have problems with the Alpha Tricks. What kind of problems are you having? And Jenny, you said, what's the difference between BX fonts and other fonts? BX fonts are um, proprietary to Embrilliance. That's number one. However, most people that make fonts now will include a BX fonts in their collection. So if you buy, like Stitchtopia is a perfect example. If you buy fonts from Stitchtopia, they're going to definitely a add the BX font format to the fonts that you buy. If you buy fonts from Design by Juju, they're going to include the BX fonts in their collection. If you buy fonts from, who else have I bought fonts? Embroidery Library, all of those people that sell fonts now also include BX fonts. What are BX fonts? BX fonts are fonts that are, like I said, proprietary to Embrilliance, where you can bring them in very easily. It's just like a drop. You download them, unzip it, and drop them into Embrilliance. You don't have to do anything else. Just click on it and drop them, literally drag them and drop them into Embrilliance, and bam, you have them. But the beauty of them is, as I was stating, if I wanted to add a text to any design that I have, say for instance, I want to type my name and put it on that design. All I have to do is pull down the icon that you use an Embrilliance to do fonts and go to my keyboard and type my name in and go to the property window where the font is, select the BX font that I want to use, click on it, hit enter, and my name populates. I don't have to bring in the font, the S, then go grab the H, then go grab the I, then go grab the R, and I don't have to do that, and then I got to move them around and line them up and make sure that I don't have to do any of that. All I have to do is go to my keyboard, type in my name, hit enter, and all of the fonts come perfectly aligned and everything. After you get them up there, certainly you can do adjustments if you want to, enlarging, put them together, move them further apart, separate, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. But the ease of having the ability to just type it like you're typing anything instead of bringing them in one by one. That's the beauty of BX fonts. And you can only do that with BX fonts. You cannot do that with any other font that you buy. If you have a brother machine and you buy fonts in the PES format, you got to unzip it. You're going to get this whole list of fonts. You're going to get the A's, you're going to get the B's, you're going to get the C's, and a whole line. And then if you got the capitals, you're gonna get all of those. Then you're gonna get all of the um, lowercase letters, and then the ones, and you're gonna get all of that separate, separate, separate. A whole zillion, million of them. And every time you want to use it, you got to go and find the A and put it up there. Then you got to go find the C and put it up there. Then you got to go find that. That's a lot of work. You don't have to do that with BX fonts. BX fonts, type it in, hit enter, you're done. And Miss, you said that sometimes when you upload the fonts, they do not come in the correct order. Others are just fine. Okay. And you also say try to always look for BX font. And so I don't buy it if it doesn't have a BX font. I don't buy it. That's just it. I just don't buy them. Period. Because there's a lot of people, there's too many people that do BX fonts now that you can find beautiful fonts that are BX fonts, and I just buy BX fonts and just drop them into my software, into my Embrilliance, and bam, I'm done. So that's the difference. Hopefully that answered your question. I'm not sure. Wish I had known this before buying fonts as a beginner. Yeah, I bought one set of fonts in the beginning. I still have that set. I have yet to put it in my Embrilliance, to be honest about it. I need to do that because it's a really nice fonts. But once I got Embrilliance and I discovered BX fonts, it's a wrap. I don't buy. I just don't buy them. If they're not BX fonts, I don't get them. I don't use them because it's too easy you can find zillions of BX fonts on Etsy and everywhere else. Most people that sell fonts nowadays will do a BX format. If they are digitizers that make fonts, most of them will do BX fonts. So it's easy to find BX fonts that will satisfy your need, and they're simple to do. And Carol, you said you've not started down the font rabbit hole. Where's the best place you like to purchase fonts and images? Um, And what was the question? Maybe that problem is I thought I could use the Alpha Tricks to upload all the letters. I think you can. I don't have Alpha Tricks, so I don't know how to use it. I just know what I've been reading. and it sounds like you can upload them and treat them like BX fonts, but I'm not 100% sure of that. And back to your question, Faker, where's the best place that I like to purchase fonts and images? I love Stitchtopia. They have beautiful fonts. I have a ton of Design by Juju fonts. Not necessarily to the point that I love them so much, but you get so many of them free because if you buy if you buy so many of whatever designs they have and you get the bundles, then she always bundles a bunch of fonts. So that's how I have managed to get a whole bunch of fonts from Design by Juju. And I do use some of them. I don't use them all. Um, I have bought font bundles off of Etsy, but I'm thinking the font bundles that I have bought off of Etsy actually have come from places like Stitchtopia. I'm not exactly sure, but I think they have. So I do have a lot of fonts that I have gotten from Etsy, but the majority of my fonts I've gotten fonts from Creative Applique, Designed by Juju, Stitchtopia, and just a few random fonts here and there. So that's where now you asked about my designs. Again, they have come from multiple places, but I venture to say the majority of my designs come from Embroidery Library, designed by Juju, Urban Threads, quite a few of them off of Etsy, from various places, but be very careful with buying designs off of Etsy because I I have gotten some rotten apples. Most of them are great, but I have occasionally run across some duds. So be very careful with that. Um, Sean says Embrilliance, and they do. Thank you, Sean. The Embrilliance website has a lot of great references for fonts and designs that they trust, like Designed by Juju and others. So that's what I would do. And like you're doing now, asking people what they like and where they like, because I do the same thing, even from you guys when I'm talking and you guys mention different sites where you shop on. I write them down and check them out myself. And I find things that I like and I try it. And if it works well for me, then that goes into my arsenal. So I have um, a whole array of designs and fonts and stuff from various places. But the ones that I mentioned are the ones that I know that I have the most from because that's where my comfort level is. And that's where I have purchased the most of my products from. Hi, Jeanette. How are you? How are you doing, girl? Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it because I know you are one busy lady, but I do appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. That's Baroka Sewing and Craft for you guys that may or may not know. Also, we have Sean at Go Savvy Designs. Both of them have their own channels and everything. So, for those of you that may not know, check them out. Check them out. You got Baroka Sewing and Crafts with Jeanette, and you also have Sean at Go Savvy Design. So check these people out. Visit their sites as well. And I do appreciate them visiting me. It's room for everybody, and we're all trying to grow. So thank you so much for your support. I do greatly appreciate it. And Sean says that the reference information under Embrilliance is under BX Font Designers. So you can find who you're looking for. Now, some of them may have a lot and some of them may have a few because I kind of went through some of that earlier today, and not all of them have a lot to choose from. But if you check them out, at least there are places where Embrilliance has checked out themselves and said that they do uh, like what they do. So that's good. Sean said, talk about a rabbit hole. The list as long as she goes down there often. I go down there relatively. I got a lot of fun. I got a lot of design, a lot of fun. So yeah, I do, I do. So it is what it is, girl. It is what it is. That's what we do. That's what we do. We like variety. With that being said, you're going to go down the rabbit hole and everything else, looking for stuff, looking for stuff. Uh, and just especially if you go on Etsy, I can't express that enough. They have some wonderful shops, wonderful designers that do wonderful work. I don't want to discourage anybody because I myself have an Etsy shop, and I know Jeanette does. I'm not sure if Sean does, but lots of us have Etsy shops, and so we definitely want that support. So I'm not saying don't shop with people on Etsy. What I am saying specifically when we're talking about designs, read your reviews, try them out, check out the stitching before you put it on your final garment because I have had some hits and misses. Most of them have been hits, but I honestly have had a few misses. I've had some. Thank you, Jeanette, for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Love that you are doing this every week to help folks. Um, learn embroidery. Keep doing your thing, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You keep doing your thing too, honey. We're out here trying to do. And Sean as well. Don't forget Sean at Savvy Design. She does as well. If you haven't checked out her site, please do, Jeanette, because she does something every Sunday night as well. Um, I've been watching her too. I don't know if she sees me pop in and out, but I do. I pop on there and be looking at her sometime as well. So I do appreciate it. And soon the sunshine coordinates. Do how you doing? No, I don't have an enthusiast link. As I mentioned earlier, I am not an affiliate, unfortunately. So I'm not promoting Embrilliance because they're giving me some change. I am talking about Embrilliance for two reasons. One, I use it, I'm familiar with it, I'm comfortable, I think it's a good product. Two, I've had a lot of people ask questions about Embrilliance. So that's why I decided to talk about it tonight because I do know that there are a lot of people that are either using it or thinking about using it. And with that being said, it makes sense for me to kind of give them my little taste of whatever it is that I know. But I don't have an affiliate link. I don't know if any of the other ladies on here, like Jeanette or Sean, does. If they do, certainly support them. But if not, just go directly to Embrilliance website, which is what I do, and go ahead and buy for them. And Jeanette is saying Embrilliance is very user friendly, and she loved their customer support. Lots of tutorials out there. Yes, it is. And here Jeanette says she does have a link on her channel. So if you're interested in buying any Embrilliance, then you can support Jeanette. Go to her channel, which is Baroka Sewing and Craft, and use her link. And that'll help her out and go ahead and get your Embrilliance software. I don't have I ain't got no affiliations yet. So I ain't there yet. I don't have them numbers that they have. Not yet, I don't. But I'm working on it. I'm gonna get them, and I'll get some affiliates as well at some point, hopefully. But right now, I don't have any. But that's okay. We can support our ladies that do. So, like I said, if you're interested in buying any Embrilliance product, go to Jeanette and use her link and send her some few coins. Uh, And Danielle, you said you've been working hard over here in the background, learning how to use my mighty hoop, y'all. I can't wait to show you the mighty. I can't wait to see it, y'all. Ju- Uh, uh, Danielle is part of my Sew Alone group that we meet via Zoom every Wednesday night, where we work on various projects, and then we're done with the projects. We do the reveal. For those of you that may not be aware of that, we've been doing this for a little better than a year now. It's a group of us, about 11 total, that's currently involved in the group, and like I said, we get together, we talk about what project we want to work on, then we get together as a group and we make our own individual projects, and then we show it to you guys to see, let you know what we've been doing. And Danielle's part of that, and she just got a new baby, as Eve calls your equipment and stuff that you buy. She got a new baby, and she's learning how to use it and use the mighty hoops and all of that kind of stuff. So we're so excited, and she's excited, and she's going to show us tomorrow night what she's been doing. So we'll get a chance to do that tomorrow night. Mhm. And Miss Shirley, you can reach out to Embrilliance. They will set you up to get your. All righty then. I will do that. I thank you, Jeanette. I will do that. I reached out to Mighty Hoop once. I only did it once, and they didn't do nothing. So uh, I think I just kind of backed off of reaching out to people. But I do need to get more active and reach out to some of these sponsors and stuff, because you guys know I talk about Mighty Hoop, I talk about Embrilliance, I talk about Brother, and ain't none of them paying me nothing. But if I like it, I'm gonna let people know what I like. That's all I can say. If I like it, I'm gonna let you know this is what I use and this is why, and I like it. So that's why I do it. I don't do it again because I'm getting any money from it, even though it's nothing wrong with that, because we are here. Um, Sharing our time, our energy, our knowledge, our skills, whatever it is that we share with everybody. And yes, it is helpful to our channel if we make a little change. So that's, I'm just being upfront and honest about it. That's not why we're here. We're here because we love what we do and we want to be helpful, because we love being helpful, obviously. But it don't hurt to get a little nickel every now and then. And we all know that to be true. So yes. Um, and so SK is asking you, Jeanette, if you have a tutorial on Stitch Artist. And I don't. She can go ahead and answer that question for you, obviously. But what I do want to say, here's her answer: is I have the module, but I don't digitize. I always hire digitizers to do the designs for her. Okay. And her digitizer, which I use, is one of them that I use, is very good. I like him a lot. So we all kind of recommend stuff with each other. What I will say to you, to SK, Jenny, not Jenny, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Jenny and I'm calling your name. Lisa Shaw, which is affiliated with Embrilliance, has a whole ton of videos, tutorials. So I would recommend that you start there. Just go on to YouTube, type in Lisa Shaw. She'll pop up, and you can go through her playlist and see if there are any videos there that will be helpful to you, because she has a ton of them and they are very helpful. She's very good with her explanation. And there are other people out there that do talk about Embrilliance as well. But I know she is really, really good. So that would be my recommendation to you at this moment. If you're interested, is to check out Lisa Shaw, because that's what she does. She's the Embrilliance guru for Embrilliance. So she will be able to tell you how to do whatever it is that you do. Um, hey Annette, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by, and I'm so glad you found my channel. So bookmark it so you can come back and follow up with us. I come on at 8 o'clock every Tuesday night. I'm usually here until about 10. Every once in a while, I do stay a little longer, but usually I'm here from 8 to 10. So please, and then I always have the replay going. So everything that you missed tonight, you certainly can look at the replay and follow up. But I do thank you for stopping by, and we are welcoming you here because we love new people when they come by. Um, and Jeanette is saying, yes, she agrees. Miss Shaw is really good, and you like the way she explains everything. She is really good, and you are welcome for the information, Faker. Let's see if I missed anything. So Jenny, you want to be there? Do you want to be where to my sew along on Wednesday nights? Is that what you're asking? Is that the question that you're asking me? If so, you do need to email me so I can send you the information to log on. So, Sean, you said you love Lisa as well. She taught you Stitch Artist 3, which got you rolling. So there we go. We have people that can give you the testimony for Lisa Shaw. You will learn how to use your Embrilliance modules, all of them. Okay, let me put my email in here on the banner, and you can go ahead and email me. Jenny, you should have my. Wait a minute, Jenny. I think I have your information. Hold up. Hold up. You should be in my phone. I'm pretty sure you are. I got you. You should have me because we have communicated, but that's okay. Um, Jenny, I will send you the link when I get off from here because I have your email address here. I have your email address. So we're good. I'll send you the information. We now I don't know how this is going to work with your time frame because we meet at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you say you just sent me a request. Okay, good. Because I know that you had mine and I looked up and I said, I got you. Okay, there you go. I got it. I will send you the link as soon as I get off from here. I will look it up and send it to you. Um, what am I drinking, girl? Child. I am enjoying me some Stella Rosa blueberry wine. I love this stuff. Blueberry um, by Stella Rosa. I like the blackberry and I like the blueberry. It's the perfect sweetness and everything because I like sweet wine. I don't like dry wine at all. Red wine gives me a headache, but I can drink Stella Rosa, blueberry and blackberry and red. They have a red that I like as well that I can drink. I used to, for some reason, I was drinking their Moscato, and I had some for New Year's, and it was so sweet. Oh my God, it was so sweet. I couldn't hardly drink it. But this is perfect. Actually, I could actually have another glass in my head too. But I won't. I won't have another glass. I don't think. I might before I go to bed. I might before I go to work. And that this is what Shirley's Wind Down Tuesday. You're new, and I don't know if you know that, but my Tuesday night is called Shirley's Wind Down Tuesday. So usually I'm gonna have me a glass of wine, honey, every Tuesday, and I invite everybody to join me and have your libation with me as well, whatever it might be. It can be wine, it can be beer, it can be something harder, or it can be a glass of water. It don't matter. Just join me. And Jenny, you said go for it. You had one too. There you go. See, you get you a nice glass of wine, you get mellow, and we just get on here and we get to chatting and talking and having ourselves a real good time as we learn. Because we're always learning something and we're always sharing information. And that's what I love so much about this group and doing this every Tuesday night as well as my Wednesday night so along because that's what we do. We share information, we talk about everything under the sun, but we always learning something that has to do with some kind of crafting. So it makes it all good. And Jeanette, you saying, "Oh, the berry wines are good." Yes, they are. They are very good. I do love the berry wines. Um, and Sean, you were saying she teaches at Applique uh, Getaway in Dallas. Okay. Oh, now that's good. Have you been to her class? Because I know she does classes. And every time I see her put up her calendar and stuff, it's always too late for me and too far away. So I've not been able to take advantage of any live classes from her yet. But I would love to be able to do that because I want to get a lot better in using my Embrilliance. I do pretty well with it, but I know I can. It's a lot of things that I can do, or we all can do with Embrilliance that I don't know how to do yet, and but I know enough to do what I need to do. Okay, so you took her class in person. That's good. I know that was fun. I know that was fun. You took it in person. And so true, love learning, especially everything embroidery. I do. And I have to admit, and I know Leslie is going to laugh at me, but I've been looking more and more at quilting videos here lately. And I'm still not going to say I'm got the quilting bug. And oh, my lady's not on here tonight. If she is, I don't see her on here. That been trying to talk me into doing the t-shirt quilt, which I still ain't gonna do. I'm not doing that t-shirt quilt. I'm sticking to them guns. I'm not doing a t-shirt quilt. But I am looking forward to doing more quilts. I'm almost done with the one I'm working on now. And I am looking forward. I've already decided a couple of more that I want to do. And Leslie keeps laughing, t-shirt next. No, it's not. The t-shirt is not next. I promise you that. That ain't happening. And then they said the quilting bug bit you. Child, child. And Lisa Shaw would be here in San Antonio, but I'm not at work, gets in the way. Girl, I know that. I hate when work does that. I tell you, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. In San Antonio, Texas. I've been to San Antonio, Texas. Nice place. Um, I would love to get a chance to go. I will at some point, hopefully. Hopefully. But I don't know when that's going to happen. Leslie messing with me because Leslie swears up that I'm going to get the quilting bug. And I'm telling her I'm not going to get the quilting bug. I am not going to be a quilter, but I will be making some quilts. So you can interpret that any way you want to. But a t-shirt quilt is not on my agenda. It is not something that I want to make. One of our next projects. See, y'all ain't right. You all ain't right. No, okay. Uh, Kim, that's funny. You just found a receipt for your sewing machine you bought in March of '96. That means that your ex paid for. Hang on to that puppy, girl. Hang on that. Memories. Okay, Jeanette, you gotta go. I know you probably gotta go to work. Have to wake up early and go to work tomorrow. I get it. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. As always, appreciate the support. Good night to you, Jeanette. And you know it is getting late, and so it's probably time to say good night to everybody. Uh, Pearl, you said you think she was scheduled for Atlanta this year. Okay, that'd be nice. And watch Becky next week with thread. Becky with two power tools and thread neck. That's what she'll be doing. Oh, okay. I will watch her. Oh, you don't have a snow day tomorrow. That's not good, Jeanette. That's not good. No snow day. That's too bad. Well, I hope the weather's well and you can get there safe and sound, no problem. So good night. Thank you for stopping by. And ladies, and gentlemen, if there's anybody out there watching, I do appreciate the support you all have given me. I do appreciate that. Please do not forget to give me a thumbs up. That's very important. Comments, share, hit the notification bell. And if you have not subscribed, especially you new people, Annette and Kim and somebody else that stopped in that is new, um, please subscribe and please come back. I do appreciate you. Hopefully, you enjoyed tonight and that you will come back and follow me. Like I said, I'm here every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. And I try to put something on my channel often. I know that I'm not doing it every week at this moment, but there are things that's going on. Um, oh, good, Kim. You already subscribed. Thank you. Appreciate it. So hit the like button. Hit the like button. That's very important. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I will talk to you guys again next week if it's the Lord's will. When you put things in the comment, put suggestions in there as to what you want me to talk about as well. That is so helpful for me because I tell you, I be puzzling this little brain and pulling out all this little hair trying to come up with ideas of things to talk about that I think that you guys would be interested in. And then if you say you subscribe, thank you. Do appreciate it. That is such a help to me. And I will talk to you guys next week. You guys take care. And I will see the rest of you all tomorrow night. Good night, everybody. Take care.